YouTube, what's good with you guys? Gennady back here with another video. And if you've been in the media recently or seen anything, if you follow the NFL dialogue at all, you've seen that Caleb Williams' dad came out and gave an interview talking about Caleb Williams didn't want to go to the Bears at all. And now it's coming out now when we kind of already knew this during the pre-draft process. We were thinking that Caleb Williams was going to pull some sort of like an Eli Manning move, where he said he's just not going to go drafted. He was going to go to the UFL. Like, this is some more details that have come out since the initial stuff we knew before pre-draft process. And it's something I wanted to have a little bit more of a long formatted video on. And this probably will only be about a 10-minute video, but still, either way, something I wanted to make a true video on because I find it interesting as a Bears fan, and I think it's something I could discuss a little bit more at length. So I have some articles here, pulled up some primary sources from the NFL on exactly what his dad said and what we were talking about, and give my true and honest thoughts about everything that's transcribed since this article. So this article is from the NFL. It says Caleb Williams wanted nothing to do with the Chicago Bears as last year's NFL draft approached, and the 2022 Heisman Trophy winner and his father looked into how they could have a hand in which team selected him. According to a book to be published in September in American Kings, a book biography of the quarterback, author and ESPN reporter Seth Wickerham describes how Williams and his father, Carl Williams, asked attorneys to find a workaround to the NFL's collective bargaining agreement, explored signing with the United Football League, and considered publicly ripping Chicago and the Bears to create an untenable situation for the team. So breaking that down, we kind of already understood that to an extent, right? That Caleb was going to try to find any way to not go to the Bears, try to make it obvious that the Bears should avoid him because they're not going to play for him. And then Ryan Poles came out, which we know, I think it might get into this, said, "We're drafting you no matter what." You can see that a little bit down. So Carl Williams said, "The Chicago is the place quarterbacks go to die ahead of the draft, according to the book." So we kind of already knew that. And like I said, with the Ryan Poles, we're drafting you no matter what. Then as the article goes on, Williams resigned himself to being drafted by the Bears. And after a pre-draft visit to the team facility, he believed he could help lead a turnaround. "I can do it for the team." Caleb told his dad, according to the book, "I'm going to the Bears." Which I commend Caleb for that, because honestly, I didn't blame him at the time. I think I made a video a while back being like, if I was Caleb, I wouldn't want to go here either. The Bears suck. No one can help them. The coaching's bad. You know, Eberflus was not a good situation. The fact we kept him as long as we did was not a good thing. I think it all ended up working itself out because we have Ben Johnson now. But we all know Caleb's stats: 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. 4 of them were through the first 2 or 3 weeks. And we finished 5-12 last year, and then we hired, Ben Johnson. So this is kind of what the article is saying about Caleb Williams and stuff. So the next article that I found is about the whole Viking situation, which I think is another interesting aspect. So approaching what proved to be a historic 2024 quarterback draft class that saw 6 quarterbacks drafted in the first round, the Minnesota Vikings left no stone unturned. Despite holding the number 11 pick seemingly out of range of trading inside the top 2 picks of the draft, the Vikings interviewed Caleb Williams, who was eventually selected number 1 overall by the Chicago Bears. However, Carl Williams, Caleb's father, told Seth Wickerham, author of American, we know this already, in months before the 2024 draft, that he had mixed feelings about his destination in the NFL. In the forthcoming book that was released, Carl revealed that he did not want Caleb to play for the Bears. Let's see where it talks about the actual Vikings part, though. It's also further affirmation of O'Connell allowing reputation as a quarterback guru. He drew praise from Williams and Anthony Richardson after facing the young quarterbacks last season. And then the Vikings are going to start JJ this year. So it doesn't say anything. Oh, here we go. So, according to ESPN, Caleb met with Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell at the 2024 NFL Scouting Combine, and Caleb began to dream of what it would be like to play for Minnesota, but he was denied the potential of a trade by Bears general manager Ryan Poles. So, from ESPN, Caleb says, "I need to go to the Vikings," he told his father. "Let's do it," his father replied, but both Caleb and Carl knew that a trade to a division rival was extremely unlikely. Bears GM Ryan Poles stood firm, telling Williams, "We're drafting you no matter what." So my thoughts on this: if I'm Caleb Williams, I'm 100% there with him. Like, I understand I would want to go to the Vikings as well. Kevin O'Connell is known as a quarterback guru. He's someone that would help. He has amazing weapons that he could work with there in Minnesota. Aaron Jones is a gun running back. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, a former teammate of his. someone he said to be the best player he's played with up until the NFL, of course. So there would already be that connection there from USC. So I could see so many reasons why Caleb wants to go there. But my main problem with this whole storyline and everything that's come out is why come out now? Because Caleb is now happy to be on the Bears. He gets work with Ben Johnson. They're working around him on offense. They just got more offensive line for him. They got more weapons for him. Colston Loveland, Luther Burden. They drafted Rome with him last year. He had nothing but praise for Ben Johnson last year and made it known that he wanted Ben Johnson to go to the Bears and would love to have him as a coach and as a play caller and as a mentor. And now that situation's there. So we know that Caleb is happier than ever being on the Bears, especially with the current situation. So why this has to come out now, I find it more fishy by the dad than anything. And from kind of what we've read so far in these interviews, it's obvious that the dad was the one who was more not wanting Caleb to go to the Bears and was more concerned than Caleb himself. Even when they got drafted and he had his interview, he told his dad he wanted to go there. He wanted to go to the Bears. And as a Bears fan, someone who watched every second of every game last year, I can tell you firsthand that Caleb was the only one who looked like he was trying to win games last year out there. He was the only one giving effort. Nobody wanted to be out there. We saw DJ's collapse where he wasn't even running his full routes last year at times. And his offensive line wasn't helping him much. Of course, he was a rookie with little mentorship from the head coaching staff there. Helping him with being better as a player and avoiding sacks and avoiding big, losses. So there's that, of course, everything's not fully not his fault, right? It's some stuff is on him, of course, but you could tell he's trying. You could tell he's giving his full effort out there, and to leave him to die and then now come out and say that he didn't even want to be there when he clearly wanted to be there and he was so happy to win for the team and do good things. You could see the intensity, the effort, the emotion he was feeling on the field. I think it was very obvious, and these articles, they're just here to get clicks, and they got people like me talking about them, so they're doing their job clearly. But I just find it disingenuous that these people are coming with these articles now talking about things that they know clearly aren't still relevant, but they want to get clicks now. Like, oh, let's stir up some drama. Caleb doesn't even want to be on the Bears anymore. Like, you guys are hyping up the Bears as these offseason champions and how they're going to be some great team. Well, did you know that the player that's most important to the team right now doesn't even want to be there? And look, his dad even said it. You guys don't believe me? Look at his dad said it. Look, he doesn't even want to be there. Even though his situation has become so much better and no one ever had any problems, beforehand. So it's really just all for the clicks. It's to try to get into the locker room and get into the heads of the players, maybe a little bit. But overall, I think Caleb does want to be there more than ever, especially now that he's got his guy, Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson has had nothing but nice things to say about Caleb. He says that their relationship is great. They talk for hours a day about the playbook and about just life and getting to know each other. And it seems like the relationship is good. I think Ben's going to be able to mentor and help Caleb a lot. And I think that we're going to see a step in the right direction from the Bears. I still think the Bears are going to have a tough season with how hard their schedule is. But I'm looking forward to the season. I think there's nothing to be concerned about. I think they're trying to stir something within the locker rooms a little bit, maybe, right? But I think that overall, we'll see good things. And I wanted to touch on this and give my thoughts about this whole situation. So like the video, subscribe if you guys are new. Let me know what you guys thought, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I was the best one. You thinking way back, you should have kept them. You always question all of my methods. I try to hold you down. I just want you to got a hit. I swear that you don't check your phone. I be pulling in the coupe on my own.